All right. Hey, what's up, guys? This is Brad with Despite Fitness, and want to do a little bit different of a format than what we've done before. And in this video, I want to give a few bits of advice to help out another lifter. Guy's name is Cameron. He's a friend of the channel. Been following on the YouTube for a little while. Also hits me up on Instagram, asks me questions here and there. And Cameron's a combat vet. Did his time and served country. So Cameron, thank you for your service. And had some issues. So training wise, had an injury a while ago with his knee, and working on recovering and rehabilitating kind of from a hyperextension. And so Cameron has shown me some squat videos, and I'll try to link that in right here. My feedback on the squat was everything's fine. It looks fine. He looks like he's moving comfortably. The weight seems to be moving fairly well, and he's moving fairly naturally. I don't see any of the things that I would normally be looking for in terms of trying to make corrections on the squat. Don't see any big knee collapsing on either side. Don't see any major shifts of his weight on his feet. From toes to heel or otherwise. Don't see any major collapsing of torso for anterior tilt. So that's then everything looks fine there. And like I said, moreover, the weight seems to be moving comfortably. So the only thing that I could say really in terms of advice for the squat there, Cameron, is continue to do what you're doing and continue to listen to your body and allow kind of pain and comfort to be your guide. So long as you're training pain-free and everything's moving comfortably, I would say stick to what you're doing. And the advice I've given you before about not being in too big of a rush to set max numbers or new PRs rather, I would say stick to that. Allow that training to be natural and fluid. Anytime you have an injury, you don't have to necessarily be in a huge rush to hit PRs, and it doesn't mean that all your training is over and that you're just done. It just means it's a period of time for you to focus on that recovery and rehabilitation, and then you can also work on shoring up some other weaknesses. Unfortunately, in the wake of that knee injury, you also mentioned that you had a shoulder injury and kind of a pec shoulder strain. And so that's been a bit of a problem for you. And so Cameron also left me this message here.
Hey Brad, making a video, try to make this quick as possible. I know Instagram doesn't allow super long videos. First off, combat vet to active duty, thank you for your service, for serving our country. And thanks for your corresponding so far. My knee held up about 2 months ago. That was like a hyperextension strain, MCL sprain type of injury. Did PT for about a month and a half, 2 months, with additional 5 months of edited, improvised training around the knee. That's when I hurt the shoulder. I was staying off of all standing presses, doing a lot of pin presses, pause presses, incline.
And the video cut off, but essentially he's just talking about having some shoulder issues. And then from one of his posts from bench training, he also mentioned having some discomfort from doing squat training. And so I also wanted to give some feedback on some ideas to help you with your shoulder issues. So one thing that you can do is with your setup, right? So I asked Cameron if he had access to something like a duffalo bar, right? And so where Cameron's at right now, Cameron doesn't have access to a duffalo bar or camber bar or anything like that. In a lot of instances, wherever you are, you got to kind of deal with what you have. You may not have the specialty equipment available to you or the resources to get it right away. So in the event that you don't have access to something like that, which I would highly recommend in the case of a shoulder issue, a cambered bar or the duffalo bar would be very great at not having to kind of torque that shoulder back to get to the bar for squatting. You can do something like this, Cameron, where you can take the wrist wraps that you would normally use for deadlifting and simply cinch them around the bar, right? Just like I've done. And this can be a trick that you can use to help you do front squats, but it can also help you do back squats. With all things, you need to think creatively, trying to find as many ways around issues and shortcomings that you can, while still getting the training in. And some people may say that it's cheating or whatever, but essentially, it's your body, dude. You need to do the best that you can to take care of it, and finding ways to work around issues. I mean, that's what it's at, right? So you just got to be, kind of creative and think through things. So I'm going to set the camera down and demonstrate that squat now. Here's the setup that I'm talking about. Hopefully the angle's okay. So for a front squat, you could move the straps in, say to like here, and then do one of these deals where you can hold it here, right? In case you don't have the mobility to get that front rack, or if this you're holding it like this bothers you. So that's one idea. And you'll have to play around with it. It's not exactly a perfect solution, but as long as it allows you to approximate the lift enough so that you can get some training value, it's better than nothing. And then, for a back squat, you can move it out to say what might be a normal squat width, and you can hold it, here or wherever. But just find something that's comfortable. I recommend maybe a high bar position, just so that it's less torque and strain on your arm. And then like this. So I can come all the way out here and hold on to that weight out here, or I can kind of bring it back down and try to pinch it down a little bit more. But essentially you're in this position here, right? So it's far less straining than getting my arm all the way back onto that bar. So that's something to consider. So position, squat, right? So it's a way to approximate the squat enough where you're getting training value, but you're not causing additional strain and injury onto the arm. So that's something that you can do, especially for your squat workouts. Can help alleviate that strain of getting that arm back, so that you're not so sore and beat up for your bench days, but then also still getting that training value in. You're still getting the squat. It's going to be very close to a normal back squat for you. So not a perfect approximation of actually back squatting with your hand on the bar, but probably about as close as you're going to get. And really all the whole thing is injury avoidance and working around your constraints. Additionally, what you can do is if you work on some mobility stuff as well. So instrument assisted soft tissue mobilization, or like IA stim, is something that's pretty popular. Woo! Wife came home. So if you have access to a duffalo, or a boomstick through Kabuki strength, something like this, where it's rounded on the end, and it's a 22-pound barbell. You can use that to dig into the tissue and get yourself, get yourself mobilized before you train. So you could do that for squatting and for benching. So help loosen up that tissue to be able to get that arm back into a position where you want. It's just going to facilitate additional range of motion. If you don't have something specialized like this, little girl snuck up on me. What's up, Bubba? What's up? Want to finish up? All right, if you don't have something like that, you can also just use a kettlebell, right? So if you get a sufficiently heavy enough kettlebell, you can put that on the same tissue and kind of mobilize it that way, and kind of get into the dark corners of your chest and loosen up that tissue to allow that arm to get back the way that you want to get it back. So those are a couple quick tips that I have. Excuse me. Those are a couple quick tips that I have for you. I hope they help. Leave a comment in the box below. Let me know what you guys think. If this helps, what you guys think, other issues that any other users or any other techniques rather that users are using to kind of get around their issues. Anyway, Cameron, thanks for the question. Like I said, I hope it helped. Thanks for checking out the video, guys. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. Remember, guys, no matter what it is you think you can't do, train despite. You either find an excuse or you find a way. Thanks, guys. See you in the next one. Peace. Oh, yeah, remember, like, share, and subscribe, too. Do it.